Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today we're known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the increasing rage of the people of Babylon the Great. Let's read this first. This is Isaiah 13:4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. And the key point here is called the noise of the multitude in the mountains, right? The mountains in the Bible, when it mentions mountains in this like context, it's referring to the governments, okay? And it's talking about there being a great number of people, right, with tumultuous noise, basically making basically like riots around the world, right? Screaming, being upset, angry, right? Well, let's read this article real quick. When I read this article, I could already see it, and along with a lot of other brothers who made videos similar to this that have been pointing out and highlighting, people out there, just regular citizens of Babylon the Great, which is what America is referred to in the Bible, making TikTok videos, Instagram videos, YouTube videos, and sharing that they're pissed, and not only that, but that they're ready to start doing things, right? There's a guy who went to a city council meeting and was threatening the council members and saying, a lot of good people are about to do bad things, right? And this article here pretty much explains it, man. It says, polls shows that American people are extremely angry, and they are about to get even angrier, right? It says, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were promised that once Joe Biden was in the White House, that the tremendous anger that was building up in our country would start to subside, but that obviously is not happening, right? You see, because these devils that run this government, right? And again, I'm sure most of you who watch these videos understand that the president isn't the head of the world power elite, right? The president is simply a figurehead placed there for those people who the illusion of power, illusion of control is set up for, right? At one point, up until JFK was assassinated, the presidency of the United States had real, power. But since then, the secret cabal that runs the world, who the Bible identifies as the kings of Edom, right? The nation of Edom, Edom being the biblical name of the so-called Caucasian race, they rule the world, right? The elite bankers, the trillionaires, the oligarchs, the one percenters, right? They are the true rulers of the world, and they are pretty much locking everything down. And in doing so, they're pissing off a lot of people, right? The puppets that they're putting in place no longer are there to give people an illusion that things are getting better, right? It's very obvious that they put an old, senile, about to kick the bucket, Edomite in place of the presidency, because they're about to do some, bad shit, right? And then once they're done, doing all these initiatives and mandates and draconian measures, they're going to get rid of him, right? And people are going to think that things are going to get better, just like they thought when they got rid of Trump. But that ain't going to happen, right? It's a repetitive cycle that's ultimately going to lead to your utter enslavement, right? Because right now you're under secret enslavement, right? Your 9-to-5 job, you're working 5 days out of the week, life here in Babylon the Great, where you basically, go to school from 5 to 18, right? That is that lifestyle is basically a life of servitude, which you are made to believe is a normal life, but that is not living, right? Living in a concrete jungle in an apartment which you call your home for the majority of your life is not the normal way of living upon the earth, right? You got to realize that you're not free, and in fact, the human race is not free when we are the only species on the planet which has to pay to live on the planet. Okay. Now let's continue reading. It says, in fact, as you will see below, Americans have been getting even angrier. Needless to say, the stunt that Joe Biden pulled last week is certainly not helping matters. I mean, he's talking about the jab mandates, right? And requiring all businesses that have 100 or more employees to, push a jab mandate, or at least, test their employees every week. When he visited Boise on Monday, enormous crowds of extremely angry protesters were waiting for him, and everywhere I go on social media this week, I am seeing huge explosions of anger. This is what he's talking about those protesters. Oops.
What's going on live from the protest outside Nipsey today this morning, and it is a big crowd. You can see it blocks in each direction. The Nampa police is here, the Boise police are here, and the crowd's lining each direction. Signs say things like they don't support President Biden's recent vaccine mandate for people or for businesses with over 100 people. Signs that say they believe Trump won the last election. There's a wide range of people here. We'll keep you updated throughout the day.
So as you can see, there's a lot of people, out trying to change things, but it's too late. It's too late for these people. This world, this new world order, it's coming through, and it's basically going to run over anybody who gets in its way, or at least it's going to attempt to. And this is where you're going to ultimately get the civil wars, the riots, and the things described in Jeremiah 30 and 30, the time of Jacob's trouble, right? That's the inevitable future that America is careening towards. Let's continue with the article. What in the world is our country going to look like if all of this anger continues to grow? Normally, it is either one side of the political spectrum or the other that is angry at any given time, right? And this right here is the two horns on this lamb, right? The Republicans and Democrats, the Coke or Pepsi, the blue or red, right? Here in Babylon the Great, they initiate or they utilize a bilateral choice system, right? For people to give them the illusion of choice, right? This is why you're pretty much always presented with two options, right? And this is because here in America, the brainwashing and the conditioning is for either your right lobe or your left lobe of your brain. This is why at schools, they don't produce critical thinkers. They produce obedient workers, right? And people who are creative, critical thinkers, they tend to do bad in these public schools, right? Because what they're doing is they're building the perfect worker for the most part, right? And this political system is just a system that exploits that with the left and the right. Continuing. But here on September 2021, both sides of the political spectrum are very angry. Just check out these stunning numbers from the brand new CNN poll. A CNN poll finds that 74% of the U.S. adults now say that they are very or somewhat angry about the way things are going in the U.S. today. That includes 88% of Republicans and 70% of independents and even 67% of Democrats. But wait, there's more. Another 69% of U.S. adults now say that things are going pretty or very badly in the country these days. that includes 91% of Republicans, 72% of Independents, and 49% of Democrats, right? And you see, people are no longer able to fall asleep, peacefully in their American dream, right? They can no longer deny reality. A lot of people are being hit with the harsh, reality that this place is sinking, right? Because what we are seeing is the destruction and the downfall of Babylon the Great, right? Babylon the Great, America, is literally falling. Its kingdom is imploding in front of our eyes. This is why you have it's morally corrupted, right? You're seeing all these horrible displays of debauchery and morally challenged celebrities. The economy is about to explode, right? Or should I say implode, right? The political system is, for the most part, on its last legs. You basically have a dead corpse as a president, right? This whole place is going down, right? The military is basically being removed out of its seats of power, right? And the thing is that this place, almost doesn't even have a leg to stand on anymore, man. And this is all by design, and it's beautiful, right? Because again, this is what the Bible says would happen to Babylon the Great, right? And we know by all things that are going on right now, right, including this draconian march to a tyrannical type system of government, right, of governing the people. Just look at Australia, for example, right, for the most extreme, and look at what they're now doing here in America, right, doing it little by little, and pretty much all over the world, right? These devils, these Edomites in power, they're losing it, right, and they're seeing that they're losing it at a faster pace than what they can manage. This is why they are pushing out all these new mandates, new policies at record pace, because they are trying to, head off the inevitable cutting off of their future. But in doing so, they're angering a lot of people, right? Even their base. Those numbers are crazy. Just a few months ago, there was so much optimism, but now the mood of the nation has completely shifted, right? And that's the spirit of the Lord on these people, man. The Lord has put it on the spirit of the people of Babylon, right, to feel a certain way about what's going on, right? This is why, like I said, people are just losing it. Continuing, surprisingly, the same CNN poll asked a question, and this is actually just a bunch of fluff about immigration and all that type of shit. But the point being is that, people are just pissed about the way that the government is coming down with their authoritarian, stance, and they're not handling things that need to be handled, like the economy, the medical system, the way that they're handling this whole C-19 pandemic. See, but these people, they're done for, man, because they don't understand that this is the end, that America's already finished. Now they're just living through the downfall, okay? But a lot of people think that they're just gonna somehow save America, just like in those action movies, man, where the hero comes at the very end and saves the people at the very last end. That ain't gonna happen. America has already fallen. Now it's just needs time for it to play out, right? This is why we are literally living through a 30 to 40% inflation hit on our economy, right? But it's being hidden by shrinkflation, by manipulating inventory and all this type of stuff, man. This is why all these prices had gone up in lumber and all these other things, man. Electrical cable, resources. Go to Home Depot. You'll see that building material has still, basically tripled in price, right? But let's read this. This is Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? Right? And it was a rhetorical question that the Messiah asked, right? How can his kingdom stand? Well, it can't, right? And we know that Satan is fighting against Satan here in Babylon the Great, right? These Edomites are at each other's necks, right? And they're ready to shoot it out, right? The elder Muatazak just posted a video called "The Lord of Sabaoth." He is that mustereth the host of the battle, right? It's a great video, but it shows a collection of TikTok videos from military personnel talking about they're pretty much going to riot, right? They're saying that when the phones get turned off, that's going to be the signal for them to hunker down and basically, shoot it out, right? So you see the population of Babylon the Great, they're ready to explode. They're ready to take action and come up against the government, right? So, but again, that's not for us Israelites to get involved, man. Like the elder Muatazak says, man, this is not our fight, right? This is the kingdom of our enemies, which is falling down, and we're not supposed to have anything to do in it. We're not to be rioting. We're not to be protesting. We are not to be trying to, go out on the streets with our weapons or do anything, man. Our job is to basically stay at home, stay somewhere safe, and let this thing all blow over, man. And when I mean blow over, I mean eventually go to the end where, the Messiah returns and they ultimately, destroy themselves, right? It's our job to make it through all these events of which are described as Jacob's trouble in the Bible, okay? And we got to stay out of these Edomites' way, because again, right now it's Satan versus Satan, right? And right now it's just, it's just colorful words, right? But pretty soon it's going to be hot lead or it's going to be getting shot, right? And we're going to have to get out of the way and not try to interfere. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right? And this is talking about the wicked, right? These Edomites, man. The Lord has put them in power for a specific amount of time. And that amount of time, we are about coming up on the end of it, man. And these devils, doesn't matter how many draconian laws they pass, doesn't matter how many people they put in prison, how many people they do manage to jab with these snake bites, they're not going to extend their rulership 1 second, right? The Lord already has their number, man, and he's about to pull their ticket, right? And again, it's not for us to bring this judgment. All we have to do is what I'm doing right now, is telling you devils, you Edomites out there, that your kingdom's falling, man, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? You're not going to jab us up. You're not going to extend your rulership. The Lord is bringing your kingdom down, and eventually he's going to take you out of rulership, and you're going to go into slavery, those of you who survive, right? But again, for us Israelites, endure Akim, because we are at the last minutes of the end days, okay? We're about to see some crazy things happening, and, hey, I wouldn't be surprised, man, that if the internet, gets, taken down. They're already bringing out these convenient stories about a solar flare coming, which can just so happen to take out electrical systems and cell towers and stuff, man, right? And what convenience would it be for these tyrants in power, that if these old internet systems and cellular line systems all go down, and the only thing that survives are the 5G systems, the new internet, which is going to require you to have 100 points of identification, just like in Australia, for you to get online, so that way they can monitor everything. These devils think they're slick, man, but this is just the way of Esau, man, trying to be subtle, but ultimately, for those who know where to look, his plans are clear as day, right? But with all that, Akim, I just wanted to, touch on this article. Wanted to make something quick today. So till next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.